Hey guys, it is I, Becca Lori Hector here, and I am back with Becca's Backyard Live. Uh, hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back. I'm excited for those of you who are returning to be back. Those of you that are new, welcome. Welcome to Becca's Backyard Live. So today, craziness. It is like half sunny out. It is half cloudy. We had thunder and sunshine moments ago. Maybe we'll hear some. Hey, Joe. Hey, Abby. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited for some stuff we have going on. I'm excited to talk to you guys, and I have things to talk about today, oddly, um, which should be fun, I guess. Hey, Karen. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is going to be so interesting. We're going to do fun today. I want to have fun on live stream today. I've decided today, it was one of the ideas from last week, was special interests, was one of the possible topics for whatchamacallit, for our little supportee groupie here on Becca's Backyard Live. And I didn't do it last week because we talked about something else. We talked about food struggles. So this week I thought, well, I really kind of want to talk about special interests. And I know that wasn't what everybody wanted to talk about. And I guess people are bored of special interests and blah, 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 blah. And that was the conversation I was having in my head. And then I realized, screw that. It's my channel. If I want to talk about special interests, I can talk about special interests. But I realized that what I really wanted to talk about wasn't special interests themselves, but really I wanted to talk about the joy that they bring. And I wanted to talk about how they create joy, right? And so I realized that was why I was feeling so a little cranky about it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're not going to talk about special interests. We're going to talk about creating joy. Ta-da! I'm so excited for this. Really, you have no idea. I'm excited. So silly. But hey, Nancy, I'm so glad you guys are all here. So excited. I want to talk about some other stuffs first, though, since we are a little supportee groupie. I know some of you guys are friends with, hey, Bill. I know some of you guys are friends with me on Facebook on my personal profile. Some of you just follow my professional page, and some of you are in Newsstand and so on and so forth. But on my personal page today, I had a little vent this morning, and I know, like a bunch of people commented on it. A lot of people agreed. I had some people reach out to me through Messenger directly, and I wanted to kind of talk about it because I don't often vent. So I don't like just complaining without a solution. I don't like just, I don't know, putting out a whole lot of criticism about something and then not providing a way for it to get better, kind of thing. But today I succumbed to my vent this morning because you guys, I feel like it's just every time we get anywhere uphill with this stupid advocacy, it feels like somebody drops another brick on my head. I just want to say that to you. So, for a really long time, advocates were saying how, it's really important that when you do conferences, you make sure that you include autistic voices in your conferences and have autistic speakers and make sure that you make it kind of affordable for autistics and welcoming for autistics and, what's the word? Inclusive, right? That's what we're supposed to be working towards here in our community is inclusivity. And yet, when given the opportunity to not only have our voices come to you, but have our voices come to you really with ease and at lower cost virtually, because now we're having a pandemic, you should be like filling up your events with autistics, filling us up, just overloaded with autistics for their own autistic events. And yet, every fucking time I see another little, oh, look at us, we had another virtual meeting. Oh, look at us, we had a virtual meeting about this and that and COVID and this and that. And I see a photo of the Zoom screen and not a single autistic person is there. I can't. I'm past the point of being nauseous. I'm past the point of shaking my head at it. I'm past the point of all of it. I'm ready to throw up about it. And I'm over it. And I don't understand why that's okay. And so I wrote a little post about that this morning to sum up those thoughts. I'll read it to you just because not all of you are on my friends list. Not that it, whatever. You can add me. I don't care. And I'll read it to you because I feel like we should all know what I was saying. And I'm not asking for comments here about whether you agree or disagree with me or for fights. You're more than welcome to message me directly to have a conversation about it. But it really was a vent. And it's also now public on my profile for sharing, because if it sums up your thoughts, I don't care if my name's attached to it. It's really annoying to me. So here's what I said. Holy fucking shit, am I sick to death of seeing panels of professionals in general discussing what is right and good for autistics, young and old, with not a single autistic person present. Not even. I said single autistic present, and I did that on purpose. You leave us out of our own conversations in person with your poor, unaccommodating, overpriced conferences, and as if that wasn't shameful enough, you are now leaving us out virtually as well. Well, not on my watch. The autistic community was born virtually. That's right. I know. It is our wheelhouse, and you are new to the landscape. Include your stakeholders or stop stealing our money to support your nonprofit paychecks. Nonprofit in quotes. And that's what I was feeling about it. Like, I'm not really proud of you guys, nor do I want to cheer you on or share anything that you're doing when there aren't autistics involved or present or part of the conversation. Like, it makes me sick to see your little Zoom screen Snapchat that you're a little proud of, and all 8 boxes are filled with neurotypicals. Not cool. Not cool. We finally were making headway in real life conferences, so now we have to start all over virtually. Are you serious? All right, I'm done. Off of my soapbox, got it out of my system out loud, shared it with the people I care about, and feel free to share your opinion with me. I think we should do it privately so that we don't drag people's names through the mud and all of that jazz. You can email me or you can direct message me. I don't care. I'm happy to entertain conversations about it. But I mostly wanted to share it with us because this is our support group, and I am your leader, and this is how I was feeling. Am feeling, obviously, continues to feel. Anyway, moving on. Another big thing that I have to talk about today, because I think it's going to be a long live stream. I'm feeling verbal. Thanks, Joe. Thank you, man. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk about Newsstand. I've been struggling with it a little bit. I took last week off again, and I feel like I just took another week off. But the problem is that this week I went and I looked at all of the thank you, Karen. I like to be real too. I prefer it very much. And I'm sorry if that entire time my New York accent was horrible, because when I get passionate about stuff, it comes out all wild. So I'm apologize. Newsstand, back to Newsstand. So I didn't want to do a Newsstand because first I was going to do an on the road episode, right? Or something fun, because there's no news. Like, literally now, not only were we stuck with in terms of news all being about COVID, et cetera, but it's now like there's just nothing. Like, there's not, we're all still writing, there's plenty of blogs and podcasts and all kinds of fun resources and those kinds of things to share with you. But not like news. And now it's even worse because it's July. And even though I know it's just my summer here in the United States, I know, I'm sorry, but it's the time it gets really slow in the news. I don't know what time of year it is for you guys there, but I don't know if you notice that the news gets slow. So on top of having slow news, we now have slow news on top of slow news. And so it got me thinking about, has Newsstand run out of purpose? Is it no longer functional and useful? Or should I consider kind of revamping it in a more fun way, like with maybe interviews? And I was thinking about something more like 60 minutes-y, so more like some concentrated news stories, so bigger concepts and multiple, longer stories, instead of looking for all the news stories. So that's the stuff that's percolating in my head about Newsstand. I'll do it again this Friday, but I'm going to talk about this when I do it on Friday as well. Because I think I need to adjust for the times, right? It's a real live news, and there's no news. So I have to adjust. If you have better ideas, for how I can adjust newsstand. And man, would I love to hear them. So please email me at info@beccalori.com, or you can comment wherever you're seeing this video. I would love your ideas for how I could keep newsstand around, because I love it, but keep it kind of still interesting instead of saying every week there's not that much news. So, oh, no worries, Stevie. Some of us get late. It's all right. You got here. When you're here, you catch up. You can always, when we're all done here, you can go back and rewind and see the first 10 minutes. All you missed was my vent. That's all. Book reviews. Nice idea, Joe. I like that one. I like that one. Back in the stock it goes. See, something like that. Did you like it, Karen? Karen just read Neurodivergent Mind, or Divergent Mind. I just got it, so I'm gonna read it. So maybe that's the solution right there. Some book reviews. Love it. Thank you. Keep them coming. Right. Let's see if we can keep newsstand alive until there's news to give. So those are my two big things that I wanted to share and talk to. There's always one, you guys. There's always one. It's now funny. It's now like a thing. There has to be one. There he was. At least we weren't creating joy when he ruined it. But yeah, so I will do. I'll add book reviews. I'll do some other stuff. I think that'll be really fun. I really do. Because I want to keep it alive. I really enjoy it. It's like my little baby. It was my first little YouTube explosion. And so I love it. And I love that you guys come there. So I will be revamping it. That's just, so stay in your seats. Be excited. I will be revamping it. But enough about me and enough about where my brain is at and what my brain is thinking. Because as you can see, the reason I want to create joy so badly is because I'm having so much unjoy right now, right? I have really an unfun morning with that whole train of thought and all of that happening. But I knew I had you guys to talk to, and I said, you know what? I'm going to show them. Lead by example, I said, Becca. Please lead by example and share joy. Right? I talked to you guys about sharing joy. I talked to you guys about how important it is to be able to create your own joy and to make sure you're getting enough joy. What I want to share with you is the kind of joy that we get from our special interests. And that for one of my favorite ways to create joy is to do my special interests. And so one of them is, of course, my furry friends. And so spending time with any of my animals creates joy for me almost instantaneously, which I love. But the other special interest that I love spending time on, I have a lot of them, right? I don't just have one anymore. And when I spend time doing them, it creates joy for me. And something else I've noticed is that when someone shares a similar special interest to me, there's like an explosion of joy. And then when other people share their special interest with me, I kind of get joy by proxy, right? Like it's fun to see the fun that someone else is having with their thing, right? And maybe that's an autistic thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just us that we are so empathic that we get joy from other people's joy. But I do. And so I figured that we could talk a little bit about the ways that we can create joy in our life, right? And so one of the ways of creating joy is to do something that you've never done before, doing something new. There's something about brand new things, even though they're scary, but if it's something you want to know about and you want to try one of those things, when you do those things, it creates joy. It can be as simple as, I don't know, changing your profile picture or something like that, but it creates small pockets of joy. So doing things outside of your comfort zone that is something you want to do, always creates joy. I think spending time with people that give you joy also creates joy, right? There are some people that when we're around you're around them, they make you laugh so much that you could pee yourself, right? And you can't catch your breath. Or they have willing to have really deep, passionate conversations with you and that kind of thing. And that spending time with somebody really in pocket, someone who you're very much in pocket with and you feel that you're vibing with, really creates joy. That's a lot of joy creation. Music is a favorite one for me. It is such an easy piece. Like if I want to cheat to happiness, you guys, if you want a cheat to happiness, it is music, right? It is the fastest way to change your mood. It is the quickest way to add happiness to a room, right? And I think we need to give music a little bit more credit than we do, because that's another one. And the last one I want to talk about is special interests, because as autistics, we get told all the time that we do joy wrong, that our version of joy is wrong, right? And that we shouldn't find joy in the things we find joy in, and that I think that's really fucked up to do to somebody. To take the joy of their joy away from them is, wow. Is that, can you think of a meaner thing to do to somebody, to steal their joy? Is that like I can't think of anything else that I think is more cruel than stealing somebody's joy. And that's essentially what is done to us, especially when we're undiagnosed, our entire lives. We're just told that we do our joy wrong. We do it too loud, or we do it too flappy, or we do it in some way, or do some activity that shouldn't bring us joy, right? And I think that's so jacked. I don't get it. And it messes with our reality. It invalidates our reality. And I think I just think it's so horrible. And so I thought not only would I talk about why special interests create joy and how much joy they create. So to the parents out there that are using special interests as reward systems, please don't. It's not going to work, but it's also cruel and unusual punishment. But I wanted you to understand that when I have joy with my special interest, I can then share that joy, like spread it and pass it to other people, because you guys can feel my joy about my special interests. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So I thought I'd share some of my bigger special interests, the ones that are at least current. I've had lots over the course of my life. They definitely change. I grow, develop, evolve, and like my friendships and relationships with people, my relationships with my special interests change. And it has been. I've had lots of them. As a kid, they were almost always attached to biology or natural science in some way. That was like the theme of all my special interests as a child. But I'm happy to say that as an adult, I have explored the world a whole bunch more. And I have a more variety, I guess, to my special interests now. And so I'm loving that all I had to do was talk about it a little bit, and you guys are already can't even hold your pants in, and you're sharing your special interests in the chat. And that's what I mean. Just talking about the things that we love with each other and sharing that creates joy, God damn it. So I'm seeing you guys talking about making color charts and all kind loving charts and colors and textures and touching things, right? I mean, you guys, our special interests bring us so much. So I've made a little listicle for myself, a little listy here of my bigger special interests, so that I didn't forget them while I was sitting here talking to you guys. And one of them I'm going to really share with you guys. So this is stuff maybe you may or may not know about me. I've shared some of it, I think, in my writing and probably online, but some of it I haven't shared, I don't think, at all. So, well, maybe we needed to today, I guess. You had to leap, come back and go, back and forth, right? Whatevs. So, yeah, my special interests include, and they include cats, which just about everybody knows. I think it's pretty much my signature, and that's been a lifelong special interest. And I think that's why I consider it my, my closest special interest. I don't know. It's the longest. It's the one I've had the longest, is cats, for sure. Next up is weather. That one is almost as long. God, I love weather. Weather is fascinating to me. But I really love watching weather more than the science behind weather. I really love watching the sky. I love like clouds, and I love stars and the whole jazzy. There's something about big open sky that I just love, and the weather and watching weather patterns that I love, right? Okay, so that's the next one. And what else? Okay, the grunge era. This is one that people don't know a lot about me, I guess. I'm really like obsessed with the grunge era. Like I'm obsessed with the music from that time, but I'm also like obsessed with people's autobiographies and the history of the grunge era and all of the bands that make parts of it and all of that kind of stuff. And so that's something that I got interested in when it was popular the first time, when I was 16 years old. And I never really lost interest, and I never stopped listening to the music either. And so that's a special interest not a lot of people know about. What else can I share with you? Wildflowers. That's a new one. I'm really into wildflowers right now because here in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, there is a plethora of wildflowers. So many. And all the different colors. And there's like a gazillion different yellows and purples and pinks. And so I wanted to be able to identify them. So now I have field guides of wildflowers and things like that. And I like to go on hikes and look for them. And that's kind of a newish special interest. It's like a sideline special interest here in Colorado that I got into. What else? True crime and serial killers. This is another big one for me. It's been since my early teens. I think this has been a special interest. It's led to my special interest in documentaries. I really love documentaries. But I read a lot of true crime. I follow a lot of true crime podcasts and things like that. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's really interesting. I'm fascinated by the people that are involved and the stuff that human beings are capable of, I suppose. And in particular in that genre, I really like serial killers. I'm really interested in that psyche. And I've read all I can think about that. I know a lot of them by heart. And I don't know, that's sort of my another hidden sort of secret special interest that I don't talk about a lot. And then the last one I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to physically share it with you. But first, I want to catch up and chat because I feel like I'm missing out on a conversation. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are feeling happy. This is what I wanted. All I wanted was to create a joy bubble for all of us, to kind of keep out all of this crap that feels like it's attaching itself to us. And so, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's so good. So everybody loves cats, and oh, good, you guys. Field guides are special interest, Bill? Really? Oh, I am so jealous. What a great special interest. You guys. Really? Okay, I will read that, Morgan. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get out of chat. Sorry, you guys not in chat who are watching this after the fact. But we're having a really good conversation because we also desperately needed some joy so badly. So I'm going to get to the final special interest, you guys. And this one I want to share with you a little bit more physically because I've just really gotten into it. So this is my newest special interest. As a one of my biggest and longest standing special interests is miniatures. So I like little things. I like little dollhouse things, and just I don't collect them really, but I love watching people make models, and I love the more accurate they are, the better. I watch a ton of stuff about that. And yes, I'm already watching Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix already. I was so excited. I did a dance of joy when it arrived. I'm very excited. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So miniatures, little things, really, really love it. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. But I just really like life-size things miniatured and people that miniature them. So out of that love came fairy gardens. I don't know if any of you guys have heard about fairy gardens. I don't know if it's popular, if it's not popular, but I stumbled upon it in my love of miniatures. And I gotta tell you guys, I love fairy gardens. I think it's the cutest thing. So I've been watching a whole bunch of stuff about fairy gardens. And then, since we are all watching Netflix together, Eurovision came on on Netflix or whatever. Was it Netflix? Yeah. Eurovision came on, and we watched it. And of course, there's a whole thing about how she believes in fairies. And I was like, that's it. I need a little like house setup for fairies in our house somewhere, just their house and their things and all of that. And we'll never see a fairy, but I want to do one of those. And that's the first fairy garden I want to make, right? And so I've done it. I've created my very first little setup. I ordered the things that I want, and I am going to share them with you. They just got here yesterday, so I'm still like, it's still in the box excited. Like, that's how much joy is about to come out of this box for me, okay? And so I show you the first piece. It's the cutest thing. I'm going to come really close. I don't know if you can see all the little detailies, but it's a little mobile home for fairies. I love it. So, of course, I had to get them a vehicle for their little RV, their little truck. I love it so much. This is my dream vehicle, by the way. I'm holding out for an old red pickup. That's all I want before I die, is an old red pickup. So I gave them one. So the fairies have an RV because we're up here in the mountains, and people up here, they don't live in little cute houses. We camp, right? We RV and all of that. And so I decided to give them a little camping setup. And I got them. Can you see the wee chair? Look at the cutest wee chair ever. It's a little glider chair, right? I got them two little chairs, so they'll have a little chair set up. Then I got them, it's not put together yet. I should really probably put it together, but it's gonna be a hammock. You see it's a little hammock and it has the little sticks. So I got them a little hammock. And then, last but not least, I got them the cutest little campfire ever. I didn't want it on fire because we're not allowed to have fires right now. It's a fire ban. So I got them a cute little setup of a ready-to-go campfire. And I'm going to set them all up behind. Oh, can you even see it? I don't know. It says, "Beware of dragon." Can you see it? I'll try. I don't know if you can make it out. "Beware of dragon" sign. You guys, I'm all in. I'm into the fairy thing. I can't get over that I can give them a little RV house. Is that the cutest darn thing you've ever seen? A little tiny RV house? I can't wait to set it up. Antonio said he's got plans so that he can help me, so that it stays, so that it doesn't get knocked over by the dogs and the weather and all kinds of stuff. But the cuteness, I'm already ready to buy them more things. It's going to be a little dangerous special interest, I can tell. But I'm hoping that maybe I can find some like estate sales or things like that, where maybe people are selling dollhouse stuff, and maybe I'll be able to get things for cheap. Or maybe people will, like, I don't know, get rid of stuff in a freeway and I can pick it up. I don't know. I'm going to try not to spend too much money on it because I can't afford it. But I'm so excited to have needed some joy and have been inspired to create my own fairy garden, my own mountain fairy garden. And so I'll keep you guys apprised as I create it. I'm sure we'll share pictures online after it gets set up and all of that. But maybe when we do a live stream and it's set up, I can take you guys down into the garden with a camera. Maybe I'll use my cell phone or something and show you the final piece, right? I'm over the moon excited. I couldn't sit still all weekend because I just kept checking the tracking for when it would arrive. So you guys, I hope that you can feel the joy that my special interests bring to me, and that you really think about how much of a priority and how much of a mood changer it can be to really give in to your special interest, or to share somebody else's special interest with them. Right? We all just shared them all in the chat, and so many exclamation points I could fall over. I've got emojis and exclamation points in the chat up the wazoo, because we're creating joy by proxy, right? I instigated the joy and passed it along, and you guys picked it up, right? That's what we need to be doing for ourselves. We're in charge of joy getting into our lives. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Karen. I am so glad that my joy is catching, because I needed it, and I needed you guys to feed back into it so it could grow. And I hope I'm like passing it off. I'm shouting out to you, and I'm like throwing you the ball of joy so that you can have some of it, and that you remember that you can create it for other people too. And it does. And it's why, for any number of reasons, our special interests are so incredibly important to our health and well-being, right? So don't ignore them. I can't wait to see the comments on this video. If you want to share your special interest with me in the comments, I would love to hear about it. If you have a picture of your special interest, I'd love to see that in the comments too. Feel free, of course, to email me at info@beccalaurie.com with any of your comments, ideas, thoughts, feedback, questions, any of it. Or you can comment wherever you see this video. Thumbs up me if you liked this video, please. Thumbs down me if you didn't. I love your feedback all the time. Shout out to my peeps in the chat who come to me live every week. I love seeing you guys week in and week out. It makes my Tuesday. And I hope this makes your Tuesday. Don't forget, of course, that the course is online, Self-Defined Living. You can register now for Unit 1 and watch it right away and catch up to us for Unit 2 on August 5th. If you need a scholarship seat, I have 4 seats left, only 4. If you'd like to use one of them for Unit 1, I will let you. Please email me at info@beccalaurie.com for that. And lastly, don't forget to head over to beccalaurie.com to sign up for my newsletter, which will arrive to you before August 5th, and we'll have discounts for the course in there as well as whatever content we go with this month. Well, that's it. I had a really fun time today. I really did. It's a little bit longer than I usually do with you guys, but it was so much fun. I can't wait to put together my fairy thing. I can't wait to see pictures of your special interests. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me, sharing joy, creating joy, and remembering that we're in charge of our own joy. Did you just hear the thunder? Can you hear it? I told you, it's one of those weird weather days. Like on command. Right? Perfect. All right, I'll see you guys next Tuesday for Becca's Backyard Live right here on this channel at 2:20 p.m. But before that, I will see you on a Friday for Neurodiversity Newsstand. Whatever it's going to be, we'll find out. Keep your suggestions coming. I appreciate it. Go create some joy. Go take care of yourselves and do some self-care. But pass the joy around. There's so much to be made. Have a good one, you guys.